So, after several times of talking about it, we have finally found out that Xbox may be going the route of getting rid of consoles. The latest news now is you can actually get the 4K Amazon Fire Stick and play your Xbox Game Pass on it.
Fears of War Gaming Podcast.
So, according to Variety.com, an article, their recent article, actually, it's from July 17th, so it's been out for a while, but I've noticed it. I've seen it on a couple of other articles and also a couple of YouTube channels it's popped up on. But you can finally play your Xbox Game Pass on the Amazon Fire TV stick. And when it was on Prime Day, apparently you could have saved 37% and bought it. Now I need to make sure find out which one it is, because then that gives me another option just to play some Game Pass games. So what do you guys think about it?
I'm curious as to how this really grows gaming. A lot of people who already have Game Pass, they own a console, maybe two. In the Game Pass generation, being the Xbox One and now the Series. It leads me to question here: what is Xbox's end game with this? Are they strictly going the console-less game production route, a la Sega? Because you look at even their exclusive games, there was a lot of buzz, which it seems unfortunately now everything that happens comes with some sort of buzz. But there seems to be some consternation about the fact that Indiana Jones, which is supposed to be an Xbox exclusive, is coming to PlayStation after the start of the year. Indiana Jones is going to release in December, and then that following probably that first quarter of 2025, it's going to hit the PlayStation. So it leads one to wonder, what is the future of the console itself in the Xbox universe? And it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. I don't know how much Xbox is losing trying to play the exclusive route. Um, they must be making money with the Game Pass model for them to continue and even really, in a lot of cases, kind of double down on console-less Xbox gaming. What do you think, Ninja?
It's still a little early to tell, but I think based off of like what we've seen, we've had previous podcasts, that they were trying to, or at least there was word they were trying to get out of the physical media in the console realm, which leads me to believe, well, what's going to happen with other things in the future, like with PC gamers and whatnot? Everything is now finally being centralized to where they have, full control over the games, and I, it's really hard to kind of fathom that world right now, because it's like I think about all the games I've ever played, or even some that I have right here and everything. Just I like the idea that I'm actually owning my own stuff, but that's neither here nor there. The future's coming. Digital media is already on a rise and everything like that. And I think this was maybe one of the ways that Xbox can try to segue into it. Now I do know that another company attempted to do this, which was I cannot remember for the life of me. It was Studio. Was it YU? They did Stadia. I think it was Stadia is what it was.
It was Google, the Google console.
So they really relied heavily on internet and everything. Whether it be from in where this world is going, it's going to be on your phone, right? And I can tell you right now, based off of somebody who's worked in the cellular industry and everything, depending on where you live, even 5G sucks out here. It's just like there's nothing that's been like solidified to where you can really play games without any lag time and response and whatnot. Now, am I okay with like these guys pairing up with each other? Yeah, sure, because there's going to be some people out there who doesn't always play games a lot like we do. You got the casual gamers and everything, or maybe there's going to be a case where they don't. It's cheaper. It's a cheaper route to get it. If you think about it, after reading the article and everything, they already have packages and bundles that you can get for it, including the Fire Stick and the Xbox controller and everything. And it's like, I want to say it was like less than $100. I mean, the controller alone is about $40 now. Lately, have you noticed on the market the Xbox Series X, Xbox One controllers? They're actually pretty cheap right now, cheaper than the PS5. And I can understand that why, but PS5 has an amazing controller. I just I think, like I said, this is just their segue into it, and they're gonna find a way. And I think they're gonna do what to kind of piggyback what you're saying. I think they're gonna pull a Sega. You know, Sega got out of the console business. Now they're developing games and everything. You know, whoever's going to go in and publish with them, whatever the case may be, that's going to happen. And I think Xbox is trying to go that route. They tried to do it when the Xbox One first came out. They wanted to take full control over it, and you had to be on the internet, and people didn't like that. You know, people are just not going to have something like that. You know, I think we're definitely in a phase, a transition of gaming where I mean, anything's possible at this point. Do I think consoles will still be around for a little bit? Yeah, I do. You know, especially maybe in the next 3 to 5 years. That's just my opinion right there. And there's just still so many games that are ready to come out. It's still going to take some time for them to develop and come out and whatnot. So, yeah, I think that's what I think.
I think the difference between Sega and where Xbox is now, or Microsoft is now, is Sega had one studio. They had Sega. Microsoft has got, couple dozen studios under their umbrella. So the ability to produce more than just one or two or even three games at a time, they can produce a multitude of games, then selling them via Game Pass or marketing them via Game Pass um, to all these different mediums of play, whether it be PC, whether it be Fire Stick, and it really gets them out of the console market where at a lot of times, even at launch, at the maximum price you can charge, most of these companies are still losing money when they sell a console.
Yeah, that's why, like, I think Xbox banked on them selling their accessories, especially when the Series X came out. I mean, it's a great console, don't get me wrong. But yeah, from what I understand, even making one of these things are losing money. That's why they're banking on the controllers and other accessories, including the memory card. I think they had for like I don't know, it was like $200 or something like that. I ended up getting
$200 to have a decent amount of memory in your console.
yeah. So I don't know how well that worked out for them or anything like that. You know, these consoles are becoming PCs more and more every generation that comes out. You know, it's just like not everybody. I mean, yeah, I imagine you can hook up a keyboard and try to play it on a Series X. It's vice versa. You know, I've already talking to people who are taking the Xbox controller and pairing it up to their PC, which has been done for like a long time now. But yeah, I think in our lifetime right here, we're really going to be moving into this digital world where everything's just going to be at the hands.
Physical media is gone.
Yeah, physical media is gone. We're going to have a remote control in our hands, and we got a TV to rely on. I mean, I can remember times back in the mid 2000s, they were talking about building, consoles inside of TVs and everything like that. Probably now everything's just on the net. You know.
Where I take issue with the digital media, where I take issue with the digital media is the fact that someone else has the ability to turn your game off, and that is the most. Which I mean, you've seen that already happen with The Crew, I believe it was. Um, Even if you have a physical copy of the game, you can't run it on a console, which I think is ridiculous. Once you own something, you should own it. Um, but I don't know how much they're making in that repeat purchase model. But I think the goodwill that you destroy with a customer, once they spend $70 of their hard earned money on one of your products, and you say, okay, you've had it for a year, we're taking it back. No, no. Good luck getting anything else out of my pockets.
Well, and I can see like why somebody would go that route of getting away from more of the physical hardware because if you could buy a 4K Fire Stick for $60, you already have a controller, or you go buy a controller for 60, $70. You're walking spending 150 and you're going to go play Xbox Game Pass instead of spending 299 or whatever for something. You could go play Xbox games for a lot cheaper. And then they lock you into the $20 a month subscription model. I mean, they're walking away making bank. More people that sign up for it expands out their player base. Well, it's just recently with the Redbox going under. People had purchased movies through Redbox, and once they went bankrupt and closed up, they lost access to the movies they paid for, and it was owned by the Chicken Soup for the Soul people too, is who owned Redbox.
Chicken Soup for the Soul. But if that doesn't work, here's Insidious. Go watch that.
There's a video on YouTube or Facebook Reels. It's more like a Facebook Reel or Instagram video, and the guy does like he's a Southerner and he does like Southern themed videos, and he did one about the death Redbox going to heaven and everything, and he's got Family Video and Blockbuster and Hollywood Video all up in heaven, and they kick them out of heaven, and they're down in the basement. Like GameFly's down there, and there's a couple other failed streaming or rental services like that.
You know, I don't know if 30 years from now, a bunch of kids are going to be sitting around going, remember those nights when we just stayed up and played Fortnite until 4 o'clock in the morning? It was such a great time. Yeah, we'd go to school, we'd play till 4, we'd wake up, we'd go to school at 6, we'd sleep through class and fail our tests, and now we're homeless. It was,
I can see the National Video Game Museum like really banking up because it's going to be like the Smithsonian now of video games. I mean, we've seen everything that you could possibly think of is going to be right there. And I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be able to even create the kind of memories that everybody had when they first started playing that Atari or that Sega Genesis or the 64 and stuff like that. People really connect to that. They really have a nostalgia for something like that. And I wonder if this is really going to deteriorate or cheat them out of that experience once, many years from now, everything's just going to be a digital platform, emulations, that kind of stuff. How does that affect? To me, it's just, I'm just not really all for it. I mean, I'm for it to a certain extent for other people to play and everything who doesn't play. Like I said, going back to what I'm saying, I play a lot of video games, and I associate certain generations of consoles with some of the best memories I have. Let's take the Gears of War trilogy, Gears of War 1, 2, and 3, right? I could say Xbox 360 and just reminisce about that with you guys because we've got a lot of history behind it and everything. That's still to this day one of the best consoles I've ever had or ever owned in my life, and I have some great memories playing it and everything. And don't get me wrong, that's what games are for. They're there to create. They're there to put you into a story and everything like that. It's just something that is inevitable, I think. I mean, I'll still play consoles till I can't play them no more. But this whole digital movement, yeah, it's going to be it's going to take it by storm, and I'm pretty sure it's going to happen in our lifetime for sure. Absolutely, it's already started.
yeah, you want to continue gaming, you've got to do it. All right, guys, be sure. I hope you enjoyed the content. Be sure to hit the like and subscribe button if you are not a subscriber. Thank you again from Beers of War headquarters, from the library, and from the control room. If you drink, may you drink with me. Forgot to drink.
Beers of War Gaming Podcast.